Master Sergeant Jordan, gentlemen, thank you. Give one more round of applause. All right, so participation, motivation, and enthusiasm will be key. As I mentioned earlier, every leadership laboratory won't be full of briefings. We'll get out and do some different things, get quite interactive within that respect. Before we get into this next segment here, everyone look alive for us, shake it off. If need be, stand up, if need be, whatever, we're almost finished up. Flight commanders are going to ask you to work on this during your flight time that you do have, but by a show of hands, how do you all have aspirations to join the Air Force? That's it? Okay. All right, okay, so it'd be appropriate to know the state and happenings within the Air Force, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so with that, beginning of every LLAB, it'll be more so closer to the 1600 time frame. We're going to watch a little news, Air Force, all right? And we'll discuss it more in depth. During our review session at the end. So, today's headlines.
With the headlines, I'm Senior Airman Renee Carberry. Air Force. With the headlines, I'm Senior Airman Renee Carberry. Air Force Space Command officials have directed the 21st Space Wing to discontinue operations of the Air Force Space Surveillance System by October 1st of this year. This decision was made because of resource constraints caused by sequestration. Lieutenant General Michelle Johnson became the newest superintendent of the Air Force Academy this week and is the first woman to ever hold the position. She's taking over from Lieutenant General Mike Gould, who served as Academy Superintendent for 4 years. A new program is offering active duty enlisted airmen the chance to attend medical prep school full-time for 2 years, all expenses paid, while remaining on active duty with full pay and benefits. Those interested must email an intent to apply statement to the Total Force Service Center by September 6th. And that does it for the headlines. I'm Senior Airman Renee Carberry.
Real quick, just like that, every leadership laboratory. All right, moving on. Next week, I guess, last week. Moving on, we're going to have, ladies first, we had Chelsea Click come and speak with you all about customs and courtesies and expectations within such.
Good evening, Lieutenant Colonel Sherrington, Captain Moffett, and Master Sergeant Gordon Pelt, and good evening, fellow cadets. I am Cadet Chelsea Click. I'm going to talk to you guys about customs and courtesies. I'm going to try to make this quick because I know you guys are probably tired of listening to the topic here. Here's an overview of what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you a definition of customs and courtesies and some examples. We're going to talk about professionalism, and we're also going to talk about flag respect and display. All right, customs are like traditions that aren't written down, things that we should know how to do without being told. Well, I mean, I'll tell you, but I mean, it's not going to be written down. I mean, courtesies are like things that are going to be in you, like your AFIs on how to keep the uniform. All right, examples of customs is the U.S. flag being folded properly in a triangle, lowering the flag to half staff, the position of honor is to the right, and the salute, which are originated with knights raising their visor on their helmets. All right, the salute. It's going to be required between junior and senior rank. The junior member always salutes first. For us, with the 100s and 200s, you guys aren't going to salute each other, but you will salute the higher ranks like 300 and 400s. And then, of course, you're going to be saluting our cadre as well. Yes, ma'am.
Do you salute me?
No, ma'am. Enlisted members do not salute each other, and we do not salute enlisted members. Verbal greeting is also rendered, so depending on what time of day it is, we're also going to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening to whoever we're saluting. Yes, sir.
Do you salute indoors?
No, Captain, no, that's on the next slide. All right, a junior member who approaches a senior member who's encumbered will salute and still render the verbal greeting. But if you're the junior member and you're like carrying something, don't set it down to salute them. You can still just render the verbal greeting. All right, we do salute the members of our sister services and sovereign powers, and then also staff cars. Staff cars are pretty easy to tell apart. They have a pretty obvious label on the front. And only salute staff cars that actually have people on them.
Laugh, but.
Yeah. Saluting in a group. When you're not in formation, the first person who sees, say, a cadre member come up should call the area to attention, and then they'll salute together. And then while walking, all members will salute simultaneously. If you're in formation, only the person who's actually in charge of that formation will salute. All right, if you're in like a work detail, the actual members of the detail will salute, but the person in charge of the detail will come to attention and salute. And then if a senior member initiates a conversation, salutes will be rendered before and after. And then saluting indoors, Captain Muffet. You don't salute indoors unless you're reporting in. We'll go over reporting in procedures later on. And if you guys just aren't sure, like if you see an Army cadet coming up and you're not sure what rank he is, or anything else like that, just when in doubt, just bust it out, just give it a shot. If you're wrong, you're wrong. They're not going to yell at you for it. So. I mean, most of the Army guys will just laugh at you anyway. So. Professionalism. Being professional is being responsible and accountable for your actions, and being dependable, which means don't be late, and being motivated towards a particular goal. How to be professional, use customs and courtesies, maintain dress and appearance that includes your uniform, which make sure you guys are always looking sharp and representing the airport properly. Be on time to appointments. Please be on time, it's really important. And be accountable for your mistakes. If you make a mistake, don't lie about it. That's all part of the honor code. All right, flag respect and display. Saluting the flag. If an uncased flag passes you in a parade, you're going to salute if you're in uniform. If you're in civilian clothing, you're going to stand at attention and remove your hat and place your right hand over your heart. Stationary flags won't be saluted unless it's during reveille or retreat, which you guys will be helping out with this semester during flag details, and we'll also go over that later on. During reveille, that's when they're putting the flag up in the morning. You're going to stand at attention and present arms from the first to the last minute of the music. And during retreat, stand at parade rest. And then when the national anthem plays, you'll come to attention and present arms. And again, if you're in civilian clothes, you just put your hand over your heart. If you can't see the flag, just face the sound of the music and follow the same procedures. All right, the national anthem. In uniform, you'll face the flag and salute until it is finished. And in civilian clothes, you'll stand at attention and put your hand over your heart. Indoors. We won't be saluting the flag inside. In uniform, you stand at attention and face the flag. And in civilian clothes, you'll stand at attention and put your right hand over your heart. Display. The U.S. flag is always displayed to the observer's left, so that would be my right. All the other flags would be to the left of the American flag. Okay, do not ever let the flag hit the ground. That's a big bad thing. Don't ever do that. That's really disrespectful. Don't carry the flag flat or horizontally. So it's folded. Don't carry it close to you. Use the flag. Don't use the flag as cover for a ceiling. Be respectful. And don't use the flag as drapery or anything like that. Don't use the flag to carry objects. I don't even know why you'd be doing that. I know in former briefings we've had don't wear the flag as clothing. So if you have like, I don't know. It's okay to have it like as a logo, but if it's like a full out like American flag T-shirt, I don't wear it. In summary, I talked about customs and courtesies, professionalism, and flag respect and display. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Alphafly. So these are standardized uniforms, is that correct? I started from.
Yes.
So when they're in these uniforms, they do salute?
Yes.
By public law, you can salute in civilian clothes as well. It's not required, but it's optional by public law.
But this is required.
Yes,
They should treat it as a uniform.
that's their uniform.
Understood.
Let's get it, Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin brought up, like, how can new cadets distinguish between GMC or POC for the sake of greetings and salutes?
GMC cadets are wearing different ranks. If you see with the POC, it's just a straight line, whereas with GMC, they're diagonal. Are there any other questions? Any 100s?
And for estimated Alphafly, do we salute senior members of other ROTCs such as the Army or the Navy?
We don't have Navy on this campus, but you will salute the Army, POC cadets, and when you tell me the exact ranks, I'm really bad there. With POC, Cadet Taylor.
Cadet Taylor, Alphafly, the senior members of Army ROTC are going to have dots or diamonds right here or on their hats.
All right. Then,
Cadet SEAL training flight, do I salute senior members of ROTC sergeants on other campuses?
if you're in uniform and you're there on the ROTC, so you're just like walking around OU or something like that. If you're doing something ROTC related, then yes.
Really comes down to whether you wear a uniform or not.
Can I follow Alphafly? What about saluting during LLAB and during PT?
Okay, you don't salute during PT. During LLAB, no.
Well, it's at discretion. During LLAB, yes, ma'am? Ben Stevens, Mission Support Group Commander. During LLAB, it's going to be at your discretion. Obviously, if you're in the middle of a GLP, if you're busy working on something, you're leading your troops, and Colonel Sherrington's walking by as he will, or Captain Moffitt's walking by, don't leave your activity to salute. But if you're just standing around, you're not doing anything, and one of the captain and colonel comes by, salute them. So give them respect. They've earned it.
Cadet Perry, Bravo Flight. Do I salute a senior member as many times as I see him in a day? Such as if I see a senior member 5 times a day, do I salute them every time?
Never share Alphafly. I'm just gonna add on to that. If you just walk past me, and like we haven't left the same room, you don't have to continually salute me every time you pass me. Just once.
Use common sense.
All right, any other,
Ben Talbot, Alphafly. What about retired personnel?
respect?
Alright, this is going to have to be a few questions today. We're running out of time. We do have enhanced drill next week on Tuesday. You guys can come in civilian clothes to the detachment on Tuesday at 1600. And we're going to teach you about marching there. It is a voluntary event, so you guys don't have to come. But it does help a lot whenever you're running, especially at first.
Highly encouraged, Tuesday, 1600, advanced drill, mention us, right now. All right, any additional questions that you may have, this week or next week, we'll have you leave them on to the review session towards the end. Next, that you gather for the
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jake Gabbers. I'm Training Squadron Commander. I'm going to brief you about physical training, also known as PT, let you know what is required of you, where and when you need to be there, what you need to wear, and who will be doing those sessions. So as you've heard from previous briefings today already, you have to attend at least 80% of all the total PT sessions in a semester. And you can't make up for it by front-loading all of them and calculating how many 80% would be, doing all those in a row and skip the end of the semester, or even the opposite way around. You cannot do that. You have to go to 2 each week. At the end of the semester, we will have a fitness test called the fitness assessment. You'll hear us talk about the PFA. You have to pass that in order to stay in the program. Midway through the semester, we'll have a practice PFA. It's called PFD, Physical Fitness Diagnostic. That lets you know where you stand physically in terms of your fitness, what you need to work on, and it also gives you plenty of time before the real deal when you take PFA to get those scores up and make sure you're going to pass. And I think Master Sergeant Belt said you would receive your physical training uniforms after the PFD this semester.
When you pass.
If you pass. Thank you. So morning PTs, they take place on Tuesday and Thursday mornings between 6:30 and 7:30 in the Colvin. Does anybody not know where the Colvin is or what it is? It's a huge gym. You don't know where it is? Ask somebody, because if you don't know, doesn't know, so ask somebody else. Within the Colvin specifically, if you walk down to the bottom floor, all the way to the back, it will be in the back corner. It's got big glass windows out front, and you'll see other people there, so it's hard to miss. Basketball gym. Big basketball gyms. Afternoon PTs, these will take